Hello and welcome to another episode of the Hanukkah Erotica Book Club podcast. I'm Raizel and I'm joined by my stepsister and co-host, Malya. Hi, Mal.
Hello. Here we are.
Back to school.
Yep.
Back to school episode.
Back to school. Riveting. I have a lot of banal details I could share, but I don't honestly know if anyone's remotely interested, including myself.
I know, that's when I'm having sleep issues and William recently was like saving for the pod and I was like, I'm pretty sure no one wants to hear about that. It is not interesting and stressful.
Yeah, I know. I mean, but apropos of what you've said in the past, like I'm sure there are many podcasts exclusively about children's sleep issues.
Oh yeah, sleep training podcasts?
Yeah, there must be. I mean, there's a million books, so there's got to be podcasts.
Of course.
I feel like...
You know who can't host that? Me.
I feel like by the time podcasts came to my consciousness, I had like given up on the idea of sleep training altogether, so I never sought them out. But I did read my share of sleep training books, though. William will tell you.
There's a podcast called Yawn. There's a podcast called Yawn. Great name, the Baby Sleep Training Podcast.
Oh, that's good. That's cute.
I'm sure there's others.
Right.
The Beyond Sleep Training Podcast. Mama Matters 2. Sleep Training Postpartum Overstim. That was just Mama Matters 2 is the podcast. There was an episode on sleep training.
I see. Right. So maybe we don't want to. We don't want to tread ground that's already been trodden. But I'm interested. I've had my share of children's sleep issues.
You know, it's hard to not sleep and work full time. I'll say that.
Yes.
It's hard. I'm tired.
It's extremely hard. You're just always functioning at 75% at best.
See, I think what happens is that because of stress hormones or adrenaline or something, that during the workday, I'm functioning at a high level.
I see.
Then I crash and become a after school monster.
Yeah.
And a bedtime zombie. And then I am so tired that I fall asleep extremely early because I'm about to be woken up at any given time.
Of course.
And it affects every area of my life.
Of course.
If you're joining us for the first time, we are a podcast. We review Jewish romance books.
This is not Yawn.
This isn't Yawn, which looks like a great podcast. If you're looking for Yawn, we're not Yawn. We review Jewish romance.
Right. But we're also moms with...
But we're also moms with bad sleepers. Yes. Great Kids, Bad Sleepers.
That's a good podcast name.
That is. Great Kids, Bad Sleepers. A memoir by us.
Yeah.
And
could write that.
It's a good book. It's a good book because the kids are great, but the parts about night are...
Right. I mean, and you go through phases. There's phases when it's better and worse, I think. It's always hard at a time of transition, like now.
For sure. I mean, back to school did cause a little bit of a delay on the pod, but we're back.
We're here. We're excited for, summer reads are over. There's a lot of Jewish holidays and content to be pursued. Exactly.
I can't wait. I'm excited to talk to you about this book. Anything to catch up on in the interim, though?
Yes. Okay, a couple of things. Number one, a couple of our regular segments that I've actually made notes because I have contributions to make on two of them. So number one, a segment that I revived in a recent episode that I'd like to just touch upon again, which is English words that sound like they're Yiddish.
Yes.
Thought of a new one.
Oh, can't wait to hear it.
Sidle.
Oh my God, like sidle up?
Sidled up to him. I sidled up.
100%.
Sidle. William was like, isn't that a sister from Fiddler on the Roof?
Seidel.
Seidel, yeah. But yeah, it sounds Yiddish. Seidel.
Yeah, Seidel really does. Mitch had one. He just told me we were away, and he said, this sounds like a Yiddish word, and I wish I could remember what it was. I'm sure I wrote it down in my notes app, but my notes app is the notes app. I've been unhinged.
I know. My notes app is a wreck.
My notes app.
It's horrible because I make notes. I'm like, oh, I need to remember this. But then nothing is labeled. And I just keep going in the same document.
It is. I mean, the thing is, you know how I love when a book has a text thread, or recently I read a book that had great Google searches of an unhinged maniac.
Oh, that's fun.
This book really good, actually. But even better would be a notes app.
Totally.
Portion of the book.
Sometimes you'll see like on Instagram or whatever, someone will post like a screenshot of their notes and it's like a nicely labeled list. And I'm like, who is this person? Like, I don't have one nicely labeled list. Everything is just like random, then like a space, and then like I start a different topic, but like nothing with no app, like with no,
And then like a random complicated password.
a password, but like no idea to what
Anyway,
that
I
is.
have sometimes really good ones for our podcast.
A
But
phone
Mitch
number, but like no, not labeled who it is. Like,
yeah, no, I know, me too, me too. It's really, like, really would be seeing me at my worst.
I have just like
Like,
$140. But no explanation.
Well, do you know what it was?
No, absolutely not.
What was it, I wonder? What was $140?
$140. No idea. No
I hope
clue.
you receive it in Venmo.
I hope it was something I was supposed to get, not something I was supposed to pay, because
Right,
that didn't
right.
happen.
Yes. 140, well,
I'll let you know if it comes to
yeah,
me.
yeah. So okay, so Seidel 100% sounds like Yiddish.
Yeah, so that was just a thought that I had. So then the other thing I'd like to bring up, which is related to our seltzer segment, is you were talking about on a recent seltzer segment the fact that there was this seltzer that's existed for years that's just like, I forget what the name was, but it's like seltzer with stevia in it that you said is like unpopular.
I wasn't saying it's seltzer. It was a soda. So it's like, I'm laughing because Mitch texted what the word was that he thought sounded like Yiddish, and I'll get back to that.
Okay.
Okay, so I was saying it's not a seltzer. It's like, I was comparing it to like a poppy, like a diet soda.
I see.
Ginger ale, Coke, but it's Zevia, which is a stevia-based.
I
But
see.
it's old and like dusty at the bottom of shelves.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So I feel like there's a new phenomenon, which is non-alcoholic cocktails.
Yes, which I like because I don't drink, and sometimes people bring those over to me.
Yeah, so I think that
But aren't those just soda?
I think they're just flavored seltzer with stevia in them.
Right, like what makes it a mocktail? It's just juice. It's bubbly juice.
But it's bubbly juice. I think it's basically flavored seltzer and stevia. I say this because I was over a couple weeks ago, we were walking into Prospect Park and there were people with, handing out samples, and it was some brand of non-alcoholic cocktail. And my kids were all, they always want free food and drinks, so they're running over. And the person giving it out is like, oh, I have to give these to an adult. And I was like, aren't they non-alcoholic? And she was like, yes, but I'm supposed to give them to adults. I guess because they're not trying to market to 6-year-olds. They're called like mojito, whatever. So I'm like, okay. So I took like one of each kind, and then I was letting the kids drink it, but I'm drinking it, and I'm looking at the ingredients, and I'm like, this is just seltzer with stevia in it.
Yes, 100%. It's like a specific kind of rebrand.
And then you were saying the whole thing about how you don't like lime flavored like LaCroix, let's say, as much because it reminds you of tequila. It is a non-alcoholic cocktail, like that lime LaCroix with just a different label on it. That's what a non-alcoholic cocktail is. That's the mojito, but it costs twice as much as a lime LaCroix.
They're doing something right.
Yeah, they
crazy.
figured it out. Like, why sell this can for $2 when I could sell it for $5 and just call it a mojito, a non-alcoholic mojito?
Yeah, it's dumb. I have one in the fridge I'd like to inspect right now and report back. Can you give me a second?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, he's probably gonna just keep this whole dead time, so maybe just keep talking. He's not gonna end
Well, and then the other thing is, like, the part two to that is that I was on my way into the park because I was going to an outdoor yoga class, and at the end of the outdoor yoga class, they promised these samples of, quote, recovery cocktails, which are also just non-alcoholic flavored seltzer, but this
Plus
is
electrolytes.
like, but it's like wellness bullshit now. So it's like plus quote deep sea minerals, which like what is it? What's a deep sea mineral, and why would I want to drink it?
It's salt.
It sounds like salt, but those cost like that was free. I took a sample. It tasted fine. I googled it, and those are like 4 times the price of a LaCroix because they have deep sea minerals in them. But it's all just
that's
flavored
insane.
seltzer. Yeah.
Deep sea minerals is definitely the fanciest way to say salt I've ever heard in my life. They're geniuses. They're geniuses. We're doing a podcast for free, and they're geniuses. That's what's happening.
It's
Okay,
true.
this is called Mingle Mocktails, not an ad, but if you want to sponsor us, I'm really telling people about this right now. Okay, it says Mingle Mocktails, 0% ABV,
Right.
sparkling raspberry rosé. So it's a fake can of rosé,
Okay.
crisp, dry, subtle, contains 4% juice, 60
Okay.
calories, ingredients. Carbonated water, organic cane sugar, raspberry juice concentrate, natural flavors, citric acid, malic acid, 0% alcohol, distributed by Mingle Beverage, women owned, minglemocktails.com, OU, gluten-free, vegan. I'm going to crack one open, baby.
It sounds great, but also it sounds exactly like a spindrift. Like, isn't that a spindrift?
Yeah, with more calories. Why is this a rosé?
I don't know, like slightly more calories. It just seems like it's a
Oh,
spindrift,
but
but
it tastes like alcohol.
does it?
Yeah.
I'm dubious about that, to be
I
honest.
wish you could taste it.
The
wish
ones
you could
that I
taste it.
tried from that park sample did not taste like alcohol. They just tasted like flavored seltzer with stevia.
Okay, in their defense, what they're doing is it's made by Laura Taylor, founder and booze free badass. Is that they're trying to elevate, they're trying to encourage people to be able to socialize and be sober with a more elevated experience, thus the upcharge and the beautiful packaging.
Totally. I get it.
But she is a booze free badass, and we're not suckers, you know? We're frugal. I was gonna do some alliteration.
We're frugal.
Frugal, freilich.
We're
And
frugal
so
and
we
freilich.
understand that it's just seltzer.
It's just seltzer. No, but I mean, it's working for them, and I respect that, and they're very smart, and that's great.
And it's also like when you're going to someone's house and you're like, oh, we're invited over. I know that Rachel doesn't like to drink. Let me bring this.
Right.
Oh, yeah. William just said frugal does sound Yiddish in his humble
Yeah,
opinion. Wait, do
frugal.
you guys, yeah, frugal, is it?
No.
Okay, Mitch's.
Yeah.
You're not. It's unexpected. Okay, I'm just warning you. It's unexpected, but it does sound like Yiddish.
Okay, I'm ready.
Snot.
Snot.
He thinks it sounds like Yiddish.
I hear him. I think he's right.
Yeah.
Snot. I wouldn't have thought it, but now that he says it, I could, with the right intonation, I hear it. Snot.
Yeah.
We need
Yeah,
to be
snot.
keeping a list of these.
We
My
do.
I need a notes app. I'm opening a new notes app.
Yeah, but just be careful because there's going to be random amounts of money and there's going to be also random passwords in there.
See, I
so.
just did it. I just opened my last note, and it just says November 15th, 2026.
Oh, do you know why? That was a date we just discussed.
Yes, that's the date we just discussed. But for a second, I was like, why do I have
See,
a note that just has
when
this
you
date on
put
it?
that, see, I would put that in my calendar, not in a notes app.
Totally.
You didn't have time.
I didn't have time, so I was like, I'm just gonna write it here, and then I'll write.
for
But I
sure,
won't.
for
Now
sure.
I just have a crazy date with
Yes,
no
yes, it's
indication
okay.
of what it is. So okay.
Yeah, we'll send a
I'm making a
send an invite.
Seidel, frugal, and snot.
snot. Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
Okay. Those were my
Those
are
were
my
the main
items.
things.
Those are
Those
my
are the main
items.
things. Yeah.
Mhm. Yes.
Yeah. I learned that. Did I? No, I already had learned that from our last episode. Never mind. I was going to say about Esther Levy Chehebar that she sent her baby to a program at my school at some point.
Oh.
The woman who wrote Sisters of Fortune. I thought I shared that. Did I share that in the last
I don't
episode?
think you did. I remember that.
Okay, I posted about how much I loved Sisters of Fortune, and my
Right.
friend Shosh said, who used to also work at my school, said, you know her. I know I don't know her. So I said, what do you mean? She said she sent her little one to our Grown Up in Me class, like many years ago.
Oh, so cute.
I know. I can't believe it. So I told her that, but we didn't know each other at the time. I must not have been in the class that much. Now I basically teach it, but she said that she'd be down to come on the podcast and read a book with us. So if
That
there's
would
a
be
book that
fun.
we're reading, like I feel like we have to save it because I kind of want it to be a book about the Sephardic community to get her insight.
That makes sense.
So if there's a book coming up for us about that, I do think that we should invite her on. She said she's totally down and that would be
Cool.
awesome.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's keep that in mind for sure.
Yeah. I loved that book. Okay.
Yeah, it was really
And then
good.
I read another one of Alyssa Friedland's. I read Jackpot Summer, the one who wrote Last Summer at the Golden Hotel.
Oh.
I read another book of hers.
And,
was fun.
Okay, great. Also a
was
summer
fun.
book.
I would say so for sure.
Cool.
About a family who has a summer house on the Jersey Shore. They're selling it. The mom died. There's a bunch of kids. They're all sort of like in their own different ways, like kind of in financial trouble in some way, kind of.
Sounds very similar to the book we read.
They go in, yeah, and they go in on a lotto ticket and win.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
It's good. It's good. It was not a romance, but it was fun.
Cool.
Jackpot Summer. She's a good writer.
Yeah.
I really, really, really liked both books.
Page Turner.
For sure. Very readable and entertaining and great. Honestly, I can't say the same for tonight's book.
Eep. Okay, well, say more.
So for those of you tuning in for the first time, for today's episode, we're reviewing Their Troublesome Crush by Xan West.
Yes.
And if you've been a fan of the pod for a while, or if you've caught up on old episodes, you might remember that we read Xan West's book, 8 Kinky Nights,
Yep.
at our first live event at the Rip Bodice in Park Slope.
Yep.
We had a lot to say about it. It was an education.
Definitely. Great pick for the first live.
Oh, absolutely.
Really
I
great.
mean, there's a lot of material. Xan West has since died, but I've read a bunch about Xan West, and Xan West was queer, trans, Jewish, on the autism spectrum, and identified maybe with a lot of the different kinds of sexual kinks in this book or in the other book, and was really writing from their perspective.
Yes.
And seemed to be very active in like kind of some activist communities.
Yes.
And died, which was very sad. This book had a lot of potential for me because it's Their Troublesome Crush, book 1 of the Kinks and Show Tunes series.
Right. That sounds pretty unique.
Kinks and Show Tunes, amazing.
Right.
But, and I think we found this a little bit in 8 Kinky Nights, but maybe like it was about the headspace we were in. And like, it was, remember how wordy it was? There was so much conversation like about their identity. Like it was, I don't, on one hand, I'm like, I'm excited that there's autism representation. And if this is the way that people with autism are really like thinking and interacting with each other and relating, then like I want to be open and read it and like, but I don't know if that is the case.
Right.
Or if this is just one person's voice.
Right. Well, and they're making it because it seems like, first of all, I kind of feel like it's just, if I had read this book first, it's like I feel that this is very repetitive to me. That's my dominant feeling. It's like, this is another version of this is just a shorter version of 8 Kinky Nights to me. It's like, what is new here?
Right.
If I had read this book first, maybe I would have been like, wow, this is interesting and I have a lot to say about it. But now I kind of feel like I said it all when we talked about that book 2 years ago.
Because also 8 Kinky Nights was a gigantic book.
Yes.
It was like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pages.
Yes. Yes, it was. This was very short. But don't you just feel like it was basically like excerpts from that other book, more or less? I mean, I get it's like slight variations that we could talk about, but it's like very similar gist. Like it seems like it's the same type of community. Everyone, like you said, has a lot of kind of like marginalized identities. People are all partnering up with each other, kind of like a little bit incestuous, but everyone's very caring, talks about their feelings a lot, talks about making what very specific sensory things would make each other comfortable, like in every given moment. Everyone's like very aware of like what the air is like, what the feeling is under their fingers, which again, like maybe that's,
if that's part of the experience, I feel bad belittling it, but it is honestly to read when you are not in that headspace. It's almost like, it's torture. It was torture.
I didn't feel like it was torture so much as I just felt like it was like, I wasn't learning. I was interested in it in 8 Kinky Nights because I felt like it was a new voice and perspective that I hadn't read. Then now I just felt like, okay, I know this already. Like, what am I get? What's new here? It's just like
Right.
it was more of this. It felt very more of the same to
That
me.
makes sense. That makes sense. This is the book description. Can I reread it for our
Yeah,
listeners?
of course.
In this queer polyamorous M/F romance novella, two metamors realize they have crushes on each other while planning their shared partner's birthday party together. Ernest, a Jewish autistic demi-romantic queer fat trans man submissive, and Nora, a Jewish disabled queer fat femme cis woman switch, have to contend with an age gap, a desire not to mess up their lovely polyamorous dynamic as metamors, the fact that Ernest has never been attracted to a cis person before, and the reality that they are romantically attracted to each other, all while planning their dominance birthday party and trying to do a really good job. Okay, this similar to Eight Kinky Nights, and this is like the attention to detail in like
Yes.
planning something. Like, do you think that he would like the gray napkins or the navy napkins? Ooh, the navy napkins. That's what feels right. I think it's the navy napkins. And I was like,
Yes.
I'm tired. My kids aren't sleeping.
Just pick some fucking napkins and move on.
No one cares. Like, I don't know. I didn't have patience for it. And this kind of energy, they had patience for each other, which I guess is very beautiful. And like this kind of, and like this kind of energy in this particular moment in time for me, Raizel, I had no patience for. I had no
Wasn't working for
patience
you.
for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But also there were some Goodreads reviews that agreed with me. I wanted to share some with you.
Oh,
but I
good.
also thought I could do some. I also thought I could read some of the book to share with our listeners some of what I was feeling.
I do also like this didn't come up a ton, but I just want to address like the dynamic of calling somebody daddy
Yeah.
in a romantic way. Like
Yeah.
I'm not into it.
It doesn't do it for you.
Like to the point that like I actually like when William calls me mommy in front of like when the kids are not here, I'm like, don't call me mommy.
Yeah, like in front of the kids, because like you're like
Yeah.
yeah,
In front of the
that-
kids when it's in the sense of like, mommy, can you
exactly.
can you wipe that kid's butt in the bathroom? Yes. But then like the second they're out the door, if there's another mommy, I'm like, I'm not mommy.
Yeah, don't call me mommy.
No, they're gone.
They're not here. The children are not here.
Exactly.
What's really funny is when I get Jonah from school, he wants to know if I brought him like a snack or some milk, and I didn't because I've just gotten off the train, right?
Sure. Right.
So I say no, I haven't been home yet. And then he says, "Could Daddy get it ready?" And so then I say, "Sure, let's send him a text now," because it helps.
Right.
He'd now think, now I've done something, right? There's something actionable.
Yep.
I've taken care of it. So I
Yes.
hit the button in the car to make a text, go.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, "Daddy," this is yesterday.
Uh-huh.
It's Jonah and Mommy, because I'm sitting with Jonah in the car. I'm driving
Yeah.
and he's in the back seat. And Jonah's wondering if you can, he wanted challah and milk. Jonah's wondering if you can get challah and milk ready for when he gets home. Now it's done, because now he's not going to, the whole car ride, did you get me the milk? Did you get me the challah? Did you get me the challah? I'm telling him it's Tuesday. There's no challah in your backpack today. The challah's at home. The challah's at home. It's going on. I want challah. So I've done something, Daddy. But when I went through my text, like I was just scrolling, I saw that I was like, Daddy? I was like, what is this? Then I realized
That's funny.
it was a text from Jonah.
Right. Right. See, that's acceptable. That's not what I'm referring to. The way
No,
that
but
daddies...
when I saw it in my text, I was worried.
Right. I get
What
it.
is this?
Right.
But it wasn't the kinky daddy.
Right.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I agree with you. It's not my thing either, but it's definitely a big thing for a lot of people.
Right. Seemingly so. In this book, the guy who the main characters are both in a relationship with is referred
Gideon.
to as Daddy. Gideon is called Daddy.
Yes, they call him daddy.
Yes.
It's not my thing either. I don't
it's
want to
just I'm
kink shame.
really-
I don't want to
No,
kink shame
listen,
our
everyone,
listeners.
I'm just saying for me, it's to the, like, that did to me what the napkin choices did for you. Like, it's really, I'm just like, I want to distance myself. Personally. Like, everyone should
Of
be free
course,
to
no
be
kink
themselves.
shaming here, but this
No.
definitely wasn't. But no, the thing is that in addition to just the major attention to detail and sort of hyperfixating on everything, which I'm wont to do, by the way. I perseverate and hyperfixate on all sorts of stuff, but I will say that the show tunes part of it was very fun if you like the show tunes, because he'd like get himself dressed up and he'd look all dapper, and then he'd like start singing "Something's Coming," and I'm singing it along. Something's coming, I don't know what it is, but it is gonna be great. And I'm feeling it. I'm feeling what Ernest is doing around the corner. He's feeling it. And he was just over and over, just name dropping different show tunes, the whole book, which really
Yeah,
did
yeah,
speak
yeah.
to me, which really did speak to me. I don't get myself dressed and then start singing, a song from Spring Awakening, that did happen in this book.
Right.
I don't have that, but I liked that he did. I know all the show tunes. I listen to them.
Sure.
I don't have the urge to just belt them out all the time, but he did, and I liked that.
Well, there's another level of commitment to sort of like doing whatever you sort of like, really going with whatever kind of, again, sensory sort of like instinct that you have at every moment kind of needs to be fulfilled
Right.
in a way that I just like, it seems like they've kind of built their lives around being able to do that.
Yes, because also I think we said this at the Rip Bodice, but like they have more time and more hours in the day to have these Can you imagine having the time to even just talk about relationships in the way that they are?
No.
It's
Or even just
more.
like you said, planning this party. I mean, who has time to plan a party like this?
No, this is they
They
have
did like
a
4
lot of
cupcake
time.
tastings.
Cupcake
Like what?
tastings for Daddy's cupcakes.
It's like just get a variety of cupcakes,
Yeah, buy a
call it a
box.
day. Right. The end.
Cupcake tasting.
Right.
And
They're
the way its taste and the way it feels on their mouth. I just didn't have the patience for it.
Wow. Tired Rachel is punchy.
I'll try it again. You know what? I won't try it again. I read
No,
this
why
book
try
so
it
many times. I
again?
won't try it again.
Whatever.
Also, like, here's the thing. Like, this is a true thing I'm saying. Like, am I more comfortable sharing my true feelings about this book because Xan West is not alive? I don't know. Because I
Wow.
generally like the books we read. We definitely share honest feedback.
Yeah, of
I
course.
don't think I would be ripping into these books if all of the authors that, God forbid. I don't think. I
No,
think
and
this is
we're critical
we're
when
critical.
we
We're
honestly
critical,
feel that way, I
of
think.
course. But like knowing Xan West, it's possible. I don't know. It's possible I'd be a little gentler. I don't know. I'm just being honest. I appreciate what they did. I think it's crazy that they were able to write these books like with all these characters and dialogue and like, I wish I could write a bad book.
I
I
guess
really
I
do.
would like, wait, which book came first? A Kinky Nights or this one?
Good question.
Because I would like to ask Xan West, like, what were they trying to do in this book that they didn't do in Eight Kinky Nights or vice versa? It feels like more of the same to me.
Right. Yeah, let me find out. This book was written a while ago,
Yes.
and I feel like there are some things and like pronouns used that like are actually not used in the trans community or in like the non-binary community.
Right.
I could be completely wrong, and like if Z and Zir is like actually something that is used, like I really could be wrong.
Right. It feels like that's the kind of thing that like had its day and kind of
Yes,
came and went, but right, we don't really know. I do
I don't really
like
know.
that. I mean, I do really like, and I said this again, I said this 2 years ago, so whatever, but I do really like that it's a very positive portrayal of Judaism,
Yes.
which I don't know, I feel like you might expect that people who feel kind of marginalized in so many ways might not be so connected to their Jewish identities in such a positive way, but they really are, which
Oh, for sure.
I think is really, that was the great thing to me about Eight Kinky Nights, and I guess this too.
Yeah, what did you think about the Like, tell me what you think about the Judaism woven in here.
I thought it was woven in quite a bit, especially since it's a very short book. Like there's a whole Seder scene.
Yeah, I think that like Xan West Judaism is like a very big part of who they are. And but like by the way, similarly, like all of these parts of their identity, right? Like the autism,
Right.
their kinks,
Right.
like this whole idea about like being on the aromantic spectrum, like arrow spec. I don't even know how you pronounce it,
Yes.
but it's like, I was thinking like, there's probably people who like are aromantic without even identifying in that way, or like the
Sure.
amount of time like that they have spent figuring out who they are, naming their identity, and then sometimes it changes. Like, oh, but now I have this crush because like in this book, they develop a crush on the kind of person they've never had a crush on, and then
Right.
am I still me? And like, what's my identity? And how does that work in this way? And
Right.
there's something about that that I think is like, I don't know, cool. And they're both like they were both published around the same time. I don't know when. I think they were self-published, so they were both published in 2019. I don't know the answer about which came out first
Okay. I mean, it
because they were
doesn't really
both
matter. I guess my
2019. Yeah.
point is
What were they trying to do with one versus the
it,
other?
it it feels like it's the same community, it's the same way of sort of processing the world. It's the same focus on these sensory experiences. It's the same even with the show tunes. One of the characters were into show tunes in a
Oh,
Kinky Nights
exactly.
also and
For
would play
sure.
them to sort of calm themselves as like a sensory thing.
Yeah, because this book is so tied to who they are. Also,
Yes.
like, can I just say, and again, I don't want to kink shame, and like, if people really are in this world, like in this like BDSM world or like sub dom world or like whatever it is, like I do not want to kink shame, but like, why is every like sexual experience referred to as a scene? It like because then it's like you're in the scene, then you're out of the scene, and then there's this after, and it's like it's like it. This is probably so annoying to hear me talk about if like this is something that like someone if like this is the way someone operates.
Right.
But it's like there's something about the like I don't know, like intentionality behind it, which is again, I'm exhausted, but like
No, no, I'm into it. I mean, keep going.
it's like they do the scene, which is like the sexual experience, and then
Yes,
they talk
yes.
about the scene, and before the scene, they also talk about the scene, and then the scene is the sex or whatever the sexual experience is, and then after the scene is over, they're like, the scene is over, so now we're gonna do the after. Like, there's something about this, like, it feels so scripted, which I
Yeah,
guess it
yeah,
has
yeah.
to. It's like
No, but it
it's
kind of
never
gets
just
rid
like
of the spontaneity and the which
yes,
you think is part of what makes a sexual experience good is that it's
yeah,
not
it's like it just
scripted and you're not like,
yes, it's
okay, here's the next part. Here's what we do
exactly.
next. Like
No,
it's
and
like,
I can't like, and it's also a lot of talking because it's like, but then so the talking's not the bad thing, but it's like, no, I wasn't expecting that in this scene. I wanted it to be like this, and this doesn't work for me. This works for me, and it's like,
right.
I've lost interest.
That's really funny. No, I totally hear you. Oh, you know what? There have you watched the show on Apple Platonic?
No, but I have heard a few people recommend it.
We started watching it and now Sammy is weirdly really into it, which is weird because I think it's meant for like 40-year-old women. Uh and he's a 10-year-old boy, but nonetheless, it's like Seth Rogen is the main guy and he's like at one point he starts dating like a girl in her 20s and he goes over to her apartment and they're making out and he does this like awkwardly long thing where he's like, do I have your consent to commence sexual, he's like trying to be
Yes,
all like a younger
yes,
guy who's like, understands like
yes. Asking
express
for
verbal
consent. Yes,
consent and
yes.
whatever.
Appreciate
And
that. Yes.
yeah, but like he's sort of doing it in this stilted way because I think he came up in an era where that wasn't, as
Yeah, I
did
was like,
we.
that's fuck.
Right, exactly. That wasn't where he started out. Um, and the girl is kind of like, it's fine, like whatever. Like I don't know, it feels a little bit like that to me, just sort of like the stilted need to like ask consent for everything and like be like, how does this whip feel along the edge of your shoulder? Would you like it lower or higher?
It's like normally when there's a whip, I like the whip lower. Then that's really what makes me feel safe. It doesn't make me feel safe when the whip is on my collarbone. I only like when the whip is on my ass. It's like, I just couldn't. Okay, like I believe that like heaven is like you can like really like heaven's like a real place. So like if heaven's what I think it is, I feel bad. Like I hope Xan West is like not listening. I feel bad. I don't want to offend, you know? But like this wasn't for me.
I think Xan West,
didn't-
I mean, whatever. My interpretation of the work that they left us is that they're trying to give people an entry into like a very specific world, which if you're from that world, maybe it feels really good to see it represented in a book. If you're not, it feels, for me, this felt very anthropological. Like there was very little that I could relate to in this book.
Right.
And so it didn't feel like a fun, sexy read, because for me to have that, I need to like have something I can hook onto that I'm identifying with on some level.
Yes.
That there's really, I mean, the satyr is basically all that.
Right. But for me, the show tunes were a biggie. For
Right.
sure. I understand why they wouldn't be for everyone. Obviously, I could even see why it would be a turnoff for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, it's not
For
a turn.
anyone.
Yeah, it's not particularly relatable to me, but just again, like everything about this way. Also, you know, and what you were saying related to like they have all this time to indulge in these sensory experiences. I also feel like there's this element of, you know, their the polyamory of it also feels extremely time consuming because they're having these long, it's not just about the sex and the scenes. It's also like, I've prepared you these eggs and fried potatoes exactly as you like them, which like I could do for one person, but I can't do that for 10 people. Like how many plates of fried eggs and, you know, how many plates of food can you make exactly the way a person wants and arrange their like blankets, their weighted blanket, the way that they like it. Like how many people can you do that for? There's just not that much time.
I know. This polyamory thing. I told you the last time we read a book that involved this, I told you about that book More.
Yes.
I read.
Yes.
Which like it could be a Jewish romance. She was definitely just a Jewish Park Slope mom.
Right.
Exhausting. I felt exhausted reading it.
Yeah.
The stress of each individual relationship.
Totally.
Plus,
Go on.
you know, yeah. Plus the sex. It was just a lot of people to manage. A lot of time.
Right. It's almost
I
like
literally kept thinking like, who's with your kids right now? How are you out all the time?
right.
That was like the whole book. I kept being like, how are you out? Where are your children?
Totally. Well, yeah, totally. I agree. And it's more just like if it was more like just sex and it's like you want to just
Totally. I get that's
sleep
different.
with a lot of people,
That's
that seems
completely
different to
different.
me. But the emotional energy of
Yes. Yes.
with more like, you know, it's a lot to prioritize emotional energy with one person when you also
Exactly.
have children and a work and all of
100%.
that. Like to have it with, I don't like.
That is exactly how I feel every time I read about any of this.
And I guess in this book, because they were so sort of like focused on the other person and these like acts of service around these details that they liked, it just was like, I have a friend actually who's, I don't remember if I ever told you this, but like a Park Slope mom who's divorced, who was sort of like wanted to get back into the dating game, but didn't really want something serious. And she was like, I'll date married men who are in open relationships
Yes.
because it's like, you know, you could just go out, have fun, easy. You know, they're
Safe.
not, you know,
safe. If you're not looking for something serious.
Totally. It's not going any farther than that. And she was like, it totally backfired because those guys, it's like the most complicated. They always
Yes.
want to have a long conversation
Yes.
about exactly
She just wanted
what
to fuck.
the status is and the
Yes.
whatever. And she's like, what is this? I chose you specifically because I thought you wouldn't want this.
No, they are all extra. That's what
Yeah.
I've learned from these books.
Yeah.
This is a review I wanted to share. This is Stevie's review, 1 star.
Okay.
Horribly written garbage.
Ooh.
The writing style reminds me of something a middle schooler would write on on Wattpad. I don't know what app that is, but it sounds terrible. Subtly and weirdly pedophilic. That's like what you mean about the daddy stuff.
Right.
Pedophilic. This book fetishizes minorities in attempts to seem inclusive, but it's just blatant tokenism. But I guess this is an accurate description of a polyamorous relationship. The degeneracy is rampant.
Wow. Degeneracy.
She did not like it.
I got that.
But some people, this provided a lot of comfort and they loved it. It felt like a warm hug. This is Claudie. I love Xan West books. They always feel like I'm being invited in a space of warmth, understanding, and kindness, where everyone gets to be their amazing, fat, disabled, autistic, queer, polyamorous, and kinky selves fully, without compromises, but not without erasing the struggles that come with such things. She's not wrong.
No, that's very accurate.
That's an accurate description.
Completely.
Their Troublesome Crush has a demi-romantic main character dealing with the realization that he has a new romantic crush and the upheaval and possibilities this open. I absolutely adored Ernest's evolution through this storyline. How much discussion happens around different attractions. See, this was appealing to Claudie.
Yeah. Right, okay.
How much discussion happens around different attractions, how he has other aerospecs to talk with. It's incredibly validating and thoughtful rep. And there's a bit where he writes a love song from an aromantic perspective that was just amazing. All in all, I highly recommend this. I mean, I'm honestly glad this book exists so people like Claudie can feel that.
Totally. And someone who wants a book that feels like a warm hug, this is perfect for that person because all they're talking about is things that feel like warm hugs versus not.
Absolutely. Also, Xan added a review.
Really?
Hi there, this is the author. I wanted to note that you could find content warnings for this book here.
Ah.
With a link to all the content warnings.
Yes, there were many content warnings.
Many.
Very detailed.
Yeah. Wow, some people really hated it, but some people really, really enjoyed it. Wow.
I also
they even
think
bought it for friends before even finishing it because they knew their friends would love it.
Oh, wow.
I think if there's anything relatable in the book, you really love it because this is not these aren't characters you see often. Often when you see like BDSM characters or people in a sub-dom relationship or whatever it is, like it's like kind of like a 50 Shades of Grey, like not real, like totally Hollywood bananas, like fan fiction craziness. And like I think maybe this actually does feel more accurate.
Totally.
So maybe that's what's happening too.
I agree. Or like Craving Flight. Remember that?
Oh yeah, Craving Flight. Here's another. I highly recommend their Troublesome Crush to anyone interested in BDSM romance that gives you the warm and fuzzies. Another accurate description.
Right.
People love it. People love it. Unafraid of fat and disability. People are just, the people who love it really love it. The people who don't, there's so many, even the reviews, like it talks about like, oh my God, this person has like sections like unafraid of fat and disability, a whole paragraph on that, nurturing, care, and access intimacy, paragraphs on that. Foodie fan. I'm impressed by the fact that West did not shy away from food in their book like many stories with fat characters do. In fact, the book is quite the foodie romance. It starts out with cupcakes and moves into dinners, tea service, and more. Oh yeah, tea service we saw in both books.
Yes.
And I had no patience for that either.
No.
I could almost sing these are a few of my favorite things just with the theme of this book. See, this person's into it. The only thing that could have made this over the top even better were the recipes for those cupcakes and sandwiches and other treats available in the back of the book. I'd cook up a storm in my kitchen to celebrate this book.
Oh my God. Wow. Okay.
So, you know what? It's a good thing this book exists for a bunch of people who are really loving it.
No, totally. Absolutely.
Haters gonna hate, and I don't like to be that person, but
you know what?
It was all, you know what?
Sometimes you are. And listen, it was very specific. You're not though, you know, that's not what you look for, what I look for in a book. It's just not.
It is interesting though, right? Because like I beat a dead horse. I definitely perseverate. It's not like I can like say one thing, move on. I like long, lengthy conversations.
Okay, in their right place and time, not when it's about like where should the whip go. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I also do think that a good thing to come back to is what would we be saying if the author was dead?
The author is dead.
I know,
in general.
but I'm saying to have that. I know. I'm saying, what would we say? Like to have that as a,
yes,
to return to that theme as a benchmark for our honesty. Like,
yes.
What are we not saying that we might say if we, didn't know the author would listen? I think that's an interesting thing to visit again.
Right. Yes. Well, we did have a situation where I felt an author listened to a podcast of ours of a book we didn't like and they did not appreciate it at all.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
We might have had more than one of those. I mean, we've had some
Yes.
books we've been pretty critical of.
Yes. Yes, but like I'll give you an example. Like I feel like we were pretty critical of Aviva Blakeman's first book that we read, Hot Rabbi, but also kind of loved it. But we were kind of critical about it, and I was slightly worried about it when we were reviewing it. But like I kind of feel like we're really friends.
See, because I feel like what we did with that book is we obviously had really read it closely and we really pulled it apart we analyzed it.
Right.
And we were asking, like, why did she do this? Why did she do that? And that showed that we actually really enjoyed it, even the parts that we thought were, like, not realistic or not, whatever it was. And I feel like as an author, how could you not appreciate that? It's like,
Right.
whereas I think there are other books that we might not have given that level of respect to, and we just sort of
Yes.
panned
Yes,
in a more
yes.
general way.
Yes, I think you're right about that. I think you're right. And yeah, what would we say if the author was dead is a good thing to come back to.
Yes.
I will say this, like, I like reading, like, we've read multiple books with like gender non-binary or like trans characters or queer characters. Like, I really like that. Like, that for me is like something that's like, I like to read about and I was excited about. Plus, like, again, like the show tunes. So like, there's a lot of things here that like I thought I could have really liked. For me, what really the attention to detail and discussion is where it just veered off for me because it was really, really detailed. And also, though, maybe a window like into their mind, which is interesting.
It's interesting, but it's not very sexy to me.
No. No, definitely not.
Right. And you're saying this started out as a series, like was going to be a series, but this is the only one.
It sounds like it was meant to be Kinks and Show Tunes, a series. And then there's like other books referenced in the back. Like a note for reader. It's like even that, like even reading the note for readers, like this is a book about a whole family of people, like, found family.
Yeah, sure.
And the plan for it to be a series, but I don't think there's another Kinks and Show Tunes book written.
Okay.
Maybe because they died.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, it doesn't seem like anyone else has taken on this community in the Jewish romance world. That's a whole.
Not in this way. No. But also, like, maybe it's kind of like a small, close-knit community, and like they're not all writers.
Right.
Like, I think this is all based in their real found family.
It seems extreme. It seems like it has to be somewhat autobiographical. It's so specific.
That's what I think.
Yeah. And again, so like not related. Like this is not like the world that most people live in. So it has to be someone's very specific world that they created.
Yeah. Also, like they won awards, like for their writing and for like their activism.
I think the writing, I disagree with the author,
the middle school thing.
The middle school thing I
too.
disagree with. I thought it was well written.
Yeah, I disagree with that also.
That's like some sophisticated middle schooler that could
literally
write like this. I mean, I don't know who that is.
100% agree. They're good. They're good writers,
Yeah.
for sure. Totally a good writer.
Yes. To be able to lay this out, all those details, I mean, you couldn't, that's very difficult.
I know. That's part of why it's like I almost feel bad criticizing it.
Right. I guess it's like, it goes back to what Roz Alexander, is that their name?
Yep.
said about.
Love Roz.
Love them, totally. That, something about how the actions don't need to necessarily be relatable or realistic, but the emotions need to be.
Yeah.
For me, the emotions here were not relatable.
Right.
And I guess that's just, so it was like, where does that leave you then?
Right. And I think that the people that are reading this book and like feeling deeply connected are relating to it because there's something about their identity that they're speaking to, or like their experiences with sex, or for
the way they experience the world, the way they experience friendship, or just,
the Shira Glassman, who wrote Knit One Girl Two, one of the first books we read, I thought that book was good.
Yeah, it was.
Helped Xan with this book in some way and is thanked in
Oh,
the acknowledgments.
oh,
To
that's
Shira
cool.
Glassman, who helped me be brave in how I wrote this story. Bunch of other people too.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, me too.
It's always cool to see how this like
I know.
the Jewish romance community.
So cool.
Hmm.
Yeah, amazing. Well, an education, metamors. We thought we'd learn.
Right. Metamors is like machatanim,
Yeah,
right?
metamors is machatanim.
Well, it's not exactly. I mean, machatanim
It's
are like when
sexual
you're
machatanim.
sexual machatanim. Right. Exactly.
Honestly, I wish Xan West were alive to agree with that.
Me too.
That like
See,
they would get a kick out of that.
they would. That's a good one. Yeah, totally. Oh,
I really wanted to read some of this to like read the
okay.
right verses, like to explain, but I feel like I did explain it well.
Do you have things picked out?
I like highlighted everything. I highlighted the whole book.
I feel like yeah, it was all.
The whole book's highlighted. I
Oh
bookmarked
my
every
God.
page. It's
Oh
impossible to
wow.
even find. It's impossible to find something good. It was Gideon's birthday, parentheses, observed, and Ernest was trying not to spill his excitement all over Gideon, who was in a rather grumpy mood. They had gone to Gideon's blood family on Friday, parentheses, his actual 36th birthday, which had included way too much fucking misgendering and gender awfulness from Gideon's father. Gideon was, as usual, still dealing with the depression flare a couple days later, the day they were planning to celebrate his birthday with his queer chosen family. He'd used his D/S safe word yesterday morning when the flare was in full force, and the safe word was still in effect. You understand?
Of course. Of course. Yeah.
Ernest
Safe
wasn't
word in effect.
surprised. He was glad Gideon didn't feel like he had to be in daddy mode when he was dealing with depression. It was better for them both to take a break. It's amazing. Like, I can't imagine. And I think that's why there's like the scenes, because like you're in daddy mode or you're not in daddy mode. And when you're not in daddy mode, you have to be able to just like be depressed or be whoever you are. And if you're in
Totally.
like Dom daddy mode, then then you're daddy. And like if
Yes.
he's not always daddy, then like, the scene has to end. So they could just go about their life functioning, not as like a dominant.
Right.
I think I get it now.
I get it, but it all seems too complicated. Like,
Very complicated, exhausting. Gideon had set the date of the chosen family celebration after his birthday again. But the thing is, like, it does sound exhausting. And, like, I do feel like I'm really kind of like belittling the whole thing. But, like, if you feel so marginalized and disconnected from your community and your family, like being around your family feels awful because you're being misgendered, you're not feeling seen. It's the worst feeling, not
of
feeling understood,
course.
not feeling seen.
Of
Then you have this
course.
whole chosen family that, like, you actually feel completely at home with. Like, I do get that. So I don't mean to belittle it because I don't get it because I've experienced it, but like I could envision how terrible it feels to be with a family who's not seeing you for who you are versus this amazing found family who you could be yourself with. Be a depressed grump, be daddy, talk about it. I'm not daddy now. I said my safe word.
Right. And I also do understand how, like, if you grew up in an environment where, like, your feelings were so sort of ignored and belittled, that you would want to create a life as an adult where you were surrounded by people who were sort of overly, what to me seems like overly sort of acknowledging of your feelings and moods and have safe words around them.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yes
So,
to all this.
but again, all this feels more like a sociology text than a romance novel
Right. Mm-hmm.
for me.
Yes. Yeah, no, this did not feel too much like a romance, or no. But again, sounds like some people, for them, it was perfect, and that's
Great.
cool.
Good. Yes.
Anything else on this?
No, that was pretty thorough.
Their Troublesome Crush. Available on Kindle.
I think if this speaks to you, you know who you are.
Oh, yeah, you know who you are.
Yeah.
Daddy.
Jeez.
Yeah. I'm glad they found each other,
Totally.
That was cool.
Yeah. Yeah,
There's
it was
also a
sweet. They were
song
all
list,
sweet. Oh, yeah.
which I appreciated.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of notes about trans and non-binary terms, notes about BDSM and polyamory terms. In this relationship, Gideon is referred to as daddy and Ernest is referred to as boy or sometimes Gideon's good boy. Gideon's referred to Sir, and Nora's referred to girl in Gideon and Nora's relationship. Ernest and Nora begin their story as metamors because they are each in a significant relationship with the same partner, Gideon, Machatunum. There's a lot of explaining. And there is a full song list of all the different show tunes referenced in the book, which quite honestly I appreciated.
Totally.
So, okay. Thank you, Xan West.
I also just feel
Yes.
like I have bookmarked this whole part where Ernest talks about how much he loves Shul.
Yes.
And I don't know, I just feel like, again, I'm just used to, like, I feel like people I know who, came out as gay later in life, or in some way, like, an identity that doesn't jive with, like, that is in any way, like, not normal, quote, the norm, felt very resentful of Shul and negative about it, and like it was something they needed to distance themselves
I
from.
I think it depends. I mean, for sure there's some people like that, but I think it might depend on the community, the family, and the kind of like Judaism they grew up in.
But my point is, it seems like these people are all people in the book who have distanced themselves from the families they grew up in, and who didn't feel like those families were responsive to them and who they were and what they needed. So it's interesting to me that they feel that so strongly, but also Judaism is so positive and affirming and soothing.
Yeah, because they like found they found something. They found Isabella Friedman or Romamu, or
Right.
they found something that works.
Yeah. Right. No, you're right. That's cool. That's interesting.
Yeah, I think so. Or yeah. I agree. I think that Judaism is reflected really positively, but also like I kind of get that because I feel like people who love to sing love Shul.
That's true. Right, true. Look, I just turned the page after the Shul scene, and it's like he was reading a book of daddy/boy stories. Ugh.
Yeah. He liked that a lot. No, I think that like I really think people who love to sing love Shul.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And this is someone who loves to sing and like definitely associates their Judaism, I think, a little bit with that.
Mm-hmm. True. Yep.
I don't know how Xan West grew up. I'm curious, but like I think maybe not in the Orthodox world. So maybe like their experience wasn't connected or associated with like this is wrong or this is, I don't know, like, you know what I mean?
Totally, of course, yes.
Yeah. Plus, I think they're younger than us. Although I don't know. I don't know how old they were. They could be not. Okay. Should we discuss our next book?
Yes, it's time.
Okay. So I was at the library and I saw a book on the bookshelf under new releases, took a picture of the cover, took a picture of the inside little about the book jacket thing.
Yeah.
And sent it to you.
Yep.
I read it already because I took it out of the library that day.
Oh, great.
And I think we should read it next.
Awesome.
But I want to read you the book description.
Okay.
Oh, this book description that I just found is too long. Let me find a shorter one. Hang on, sorry. He's also not going to delete this. A lot of downtime in this episode.
Oh, man. Maybe there'll be some good audio clips.
I think there will be. Oh, we got some feedback about that. We said we'd save it for the pod.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Let's do it next episode.
Okay.
Someone shared very thoughtful feedback about
the audio design, the audio production of this podcast, which I think, that's a great example that relates to what we were saying about being critical of books. It's like, to me, that was such nice feedback because it's someone who is listening to the show, likes
is a fan,
is a fan, and actually has thoughts, like thoughtful ideas about how the listening experience could be better for them. Like, that's great.
Yeah,
and I feel like authors of the books that we've read, not all of them, but the ones that we liked but also had some criticisms of, we conveyed it in that spirit. And I think that came off.
Absolutely. Okay, you ready? This is the book description of Girls, Girls, Girls by Shoshana von Blackenese. Sorry, everything's taking so long. It's the summer of 96, and best friends and secret girlfriends Hannah and Sam are driving across the country from Long Beach, New York, to the fabled queer paradise of San Francisco, free from the harsh gazes of their neighbors and stifling demands of Hannah's devout Orthodox Jewish mother. In San Francisco, they will finally be together as a real couple, out in the open, around other queer people, even if the move means leaving behind Hannah's beloved Bubby. When the financial strains of West Coast living push the girls to start stripping at the Chez Paris, yet another secret Hannah must keep from her family, Hannah feels trapped. Sam wants her at the club, but Hannah hates stripping nearly as much as she hates disappointing Sam. Then Hannah meets Chris, an older butch lesbian who's immediately taken with her. Desperate to stay in San Francisco and away from the leering men at the club, Hannah proposes an escort arrangement. This is absolutely way more than a description.
I was like,
What
gonna
is
be like,
happening?
what's going on?
Anyway, I'm not going to keep reading the book. That's what we're reading next. I can't keep
Okay.
reading it. It's telling the
No, it's
ending.
the whole book. No, please. For my sake, I want to read it.
So that's what we're reading next. Girls, Girls, Girls.
Okay,
It's a
well,
new,
I
it's a
liked
new
the
release.
summary of the first third of it that you just read.
Yes, it's a new release. It just came out in June.
Great. Cool.
And I can't wait to talk about it with you.
Okay, awesome. I'm excited. Sounds good.
Yes, I'm going to have to reread it. And I can't wait. I really can't wait to talk about it with you. I've recommended it to a bunch of people.
Oh, cool. Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. And maybe some similar themes to what we just discussed.
All right, I'm open to that.
Okay, this podcast is produced by William Levin. Next episode, we'll discuss that feedback we got in a little more detail.
Absolutely.
And this podcast is brought to you by Newest Traditions and Hanukkah Palm. If you're looking to get a menorah shaped beer pong game for 20% off, enter code Hanukkah Erotica, HANUKKAHEROTICA at newesttraditions.com. Follow us on Instagram, leave us a review, share with friends. We hope you enjoyed. Good night, Mal.
Good night.